planning for the future in 2026 is probably one of the hardest things that we've had to do in our lifetime, especially at a young age of 25 that I am right now. Um, the economy looks kind of freaky. The world is going through some things, but what I always tend to believe, um, I would say, like as the foundation of everything, is life will go on. Life will continue to happen, even with foreign wars or tragedies that happen or circumstances that are beyond our control. So one thing I would say is to not necessarily live in the future. You have to live in the present because you won't appreciate anything you have unless you do. But as responsible adults or young adults that we are, we have to start also planning for the future and start to understand what our responsibilities are for creating something for ourselves and our future family, our future lives, and not just for ourselves, but for the people that we love as well. As you know, and as I would say a lot of you know quite well, is the future and time doesn't wait for anybody. The the sun will always rise. The unstoppable force that is time will continue, even if you are well, even if you're struggling or thriving, even if you want to just make time stop and rest. Time will go on and things will continue to happen around you, even if you want them to or not. So, what I always say is think at least 6 months, a year ahead, but think with a purpose. Think where you want to go, where you want to be, what do you want to have, and always start to make plans or start to prepare for whatever it is that you want. Let's say you want to move somewhere, you want to have a job. In 5 years, you want to be financially stable and quit your job, your 9 to 5, anything. It can be even as simple as move out and be independent if you're still living with your parents, have a car, anything. This all requires a certain level of understanding about yourself and your habits, what you can and can't do, how much you can follow something or not, and also physical preparation. You need to prepare the things, realistic things that you can do with a certain goal in mind. For example, let's say in 2 years' time, I want to have a car. Well, you need to see how much an average car costs in where you live, based on your income, how much you need to save each month to be able to have a car by 2 years. And the important thing is to follow through with it. Because one thing I've learned from operating a business is always, yeah, I can make an Excel about the plans that I have. I can make a written down plan on a piece of paper, but the actions every month that I need to reach the goal, that the 2 year goal, 5 year goal that I put on that piece of paper, the actions that I do every day and every month are the ones that will get me there. So naturally, discipline is an important factor. Discipline and being true to your word with yourself, not anyone else per se, because lots of goals can be not just individually. They can be with your family, with your job, your business, your co-workers, your wife, your kids. But underneath every single plan that you make with other people, there is a part that you have to do. It's it is a collective effort, but you need to put in your share. And putting in your share, especially when having a plan by yourself, let's say be be physically fit, it's a one man endeavor. Nobody else can force you to go to the gym or do physical activities. No one else can force you to eat correctly or not eat uh, sugary foods and fast foods. Those are things that you have to make a promise to yourself and keep it. And it's hard. It's hard to do that. I've been on some personal journeys with this topic, and it is hard. It's hard to eat the right things every day. It's hard to get up and go to the gym or do your physical exercise every single day. But if you really want if you really want a goal, if you feel like you want to earn your goal, not let it be handed to you, those are the things that keep us going, and we'll eventually get there. And planning for your future is the same thing. If you say in 5 years I want to be earning this much amount, well, then you need to be focused on planning and doing the things, doing all the things, I would say, that each decision that you make will get you more income. Each decision that you make, each place you go to, each person you talk to, not necessarily you have to cut everything off, but being conscious about the decisions that you make so that you can reach your desired goal. And for example, I want to get married. I bought a car recently, which was part of a long few month plan to save some income. And each start of the month, before any expenses on my payday, I only get paid once a month in my job. Each time I would get paid, I would automatically put the same amount of money into my savings account that I knew I needed to save in order to buy the car in the amount of time that I wanted. Obviously, I calculated the amount I could so that I could survive and not be miserable for however long it took me. But that was the first thing I did, and my word to myself and my promise was I could not touch that money. If something happened and I went out and I consciously made a decision to overspend on whatever else, and a week before my next payday I had no money left, I made a promise to myself that I will not touch the money in my savings account. Because for me, it's kind of hard to, once I do it, to not do it again. Obviously, it's something that I can better and I can work with myself, but the promise was to not touch that money because that was for the bigger goal in mind. And if one day I had you could see it like a smaller goal where, for that day, whereas I wanted to have a big meal to celebrate something, it doesn't excuse the bigger goal, the bigger picture for my life, which was buying a car. Now it's another one. But planning for things and planning to be responsible for ourselves and for others, because if in the future not everything is gonna stay the same, right? Your parents will get old. You'll have a family. Maybe you'll have a kid. Maybe things will go south in your job, in your life, and you're going to need extra support. We have our own individual responsibilities to take care of ourselves and our loved ones. And we are not able to do that if we are not in our best state, because we cannot help anyone else if we're not in our best. If we don't have the capability and the resources, be it money or time or food or anything, we cannot help anyone, and we cannot be of value to ourselves or to anyone else. So being smart and planning and taking your time with yourself to better yourself is always going to be beneficial. Even if you make mistakes, even if things go backwards, or things fail, it's always going to be a positive outcome to plan and prepare and make decisions to better yourself. And what I would say, first of all, is there's no rush. First of all, there can be rush with some things, but I would say don't make decisions or don't make plannings. I would say don't plan things when you're on the brink, when you're not in the right state of mind to consciously make the most objective and thought out decisions for yourself. Don't make a whole life plan for the next 10 years to get something that you wanted that one day, because in a week's time you're gonna want something else and your whole plan is gonna be for nothing. Think about what's gonna make you stable in the future, what's gonna bring you satisfaction, not happiness, because in my opinion happiness comes and goes, and happiness isn't always it shouldn't be the constant state of your life, I would say, because life can be sad, life can be stressful, life can be angry, life can be shameful, embarrassing, depressed, anything. But try to make yourself stable. Try to find a purpose with your plan, with your decision. Don't make it something empty where when you reach that goal, it's not going to really give you anything. And don't make it all about yourself. Make your goals and your decisions that you want to work towards beneficial to you, yes, and make your life better. But try to think of things that overall will help you and the people around you, will let you, or free you, I would say, allow yourself to do good with the goal that you have and be someone better for the people around you. And just make smart decisions. And it's okay to fail. It's okay to fail. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to always be perfect. But try to do the best with your planning. Try to do the best with yourself. And try to be the person that if you were down in the dumps and needed some help, be the person that you wish you had in your time of need. So obviously take this with a grain of salt, because everyone's plans are different. Everyone has different goals and different desires in their lives, different circumstances which require different things. But try to visualize what would the next the most significant change for you would look like, and plan for that. Plan for the best version of your life that you could have in the future, and base your decisions off that. Things will work out. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.